Hello YouTubies, this is King Scribe, and thank you for watching one of my amazing YouTube videos. Right, so I've just seen the Adventure in Time and Space, and it was pretty rubbish. I was joking, it was pretty good. It's a fantastic way of telling the story. It's a fantastic way of reenacting most of what happened. I mean, I'm sure some of it was artificially altered just for the idea of production to make it more interesting. It's like you watch a Family Guy or something like that on TV, and you see the guy in a wheelchair and somebody says you're never gonna make it. It's sort of like that with this, but they did milk it in parts. I remember watching a bit where William Hartnell was suggested as saying, "I'm scared, I've never done anything like this before," as if he knew that Doctor Who was going to be massive back then. And maybe he did, but I very much doubt that he would have said, "I've never done anything like this before and I'm terrified," after seeing him in the real sort of personality he is, talking to other people and producers on set. They were filming what he was saying in the makeup room, etc. And he said, "I'm absolutely brilliant, I'm fine with it." He was like that. He wasn't saying, "Oh, I'm scared of doing Doctor Who." I mean, they're just milking at the BBC. That's what I thought after watching it. That's definitely milking. They're making it more sad and, as if he couldn't speak in his episodes. He could do a lot of stuff. He became ill, but he wasn't like, falling over or seeing images of Matt Smith in the in the TARDIS. I mean, come on. But I think once the 10th anniversary came up, and even the I think he died in 1970 odd, right? So he must have known back then that this show had a chance of going on and on and on. He must have had an idea back then, because once it hit past the 10th anniversary, you start to think maybe this could go to the 20th, maybe to the 30th, 40th, 50th. Now, I'm saying it could go to 100th, and perhaps beyond then. I still think that it might have breaks now and again, but I could be completely wrong. It could be over 1,000 years old eventually. Maybe Doctor Who will expand. In fact, maybe Doctor Who will become a real person eventually, because he'll be inspired by the TV show called Doctor Who. But as for William Hartnell, I mean, the guy who was playing him, he looks a spitting image of my granddad. I mean, at certain stages, he really does. It's really eerie to actually see something like that, but he's a brilliant actor. I mean, I'm glad they actually brought him back, but he just looked completely different in this episode. I was quite impressed with the acting. He really put on a decent performance, and I didn't think William Hartnell was this miserable bag. I didn't think he was going to be so nasty. I don't think he was. I think it was the BBC milking it, actually, because what I see on the TV screen, the first episode, I see a very playful, joyful character who's a little bit egotistical. He's got a sense of humour. It's a dark sense of humour in parts, but I can see why children would love him. I mean, I saw this character here, and immediately from the first episode of watching, which was The Unearthly Child, I've just seen it a few days ago, I was immediately engaged with this character, and I was thinking, children would love that character. He's just like our Doctor today. He's just like Matt Smith. He's just like Sylvester McCoy. He's got that thing. He's just like Patrick Troughton. Everything about him just seems to work, and I think that's what Doctor Who fans want. Now, I said a while ago that the Doctor needs to be older. I mean, he needs to go back to an older time, an older version of himself, but he needs to be old in a way where children and adults can feel, this is Grandad. This is grandfather Doctor Who. This guy has the knowledge, the understanding, the joy. He has everything. The younger versions of the Doctor are good. but there's still something missing. They're not really older people, they're just actors, and you can still feel that they're not older. You can still feel like they're, children. When I see Matt Smith, and I'll have to disagree with Stephen Moffat here. He does not remind me of somebody who's older. He does sort of, but I'm not convinced with the acting at all. If I see somebody like Sylvester McCoy, I'm more convinced. If I see somebody like Christopher Eccleston, I'm a little bit more convinced. If I see somebody like Patrick Troughton, I'm convinced. Patrick Troughton is a better actor than some of them. And if I see somebody like William Hartnell, I'm definitely convinced. That's the difference. He probably is one of the better actors of the Doctor. He's probably one of the better Doctors, if not the best, if you think about it. And his Doctor is the most important of all time, and the Patrick Troughton one. Other than that, the others are just spin-offs of the same personality. It was kind of a sad story. I have to admit, in times I was welling up. I don't like to admit it, but, I've got a heart, and I've only got one, unfortunately. Some people got two. But it was touching, in part. You're thinking, I wish he was around now, and to see the 50th anniversary would be so cool. And to even have him there as an aged alien or something would be pretty cool. But he's not around now, so it's a shame he didn't see it made to the 50th anniversary, and as well as the others. But I think the ones who have passed away, I think there's only two, is there? There's only three. The first three Doctors, actually, nonetheless. I think they would have known. Considering the ones following William Hartnell, that Doctor Who would have reached over 50 years, that could easily have come back. I think they would have known that deep down. I think they would have always imagined that it could make a comeback. Especially, the first Doctor, he would have thought, yeah, there's a chance that this could go on and on. Patrick Troughton was there, and it was carrying on for 20 or 30 years even then. So, 30 years, you think, well, there's a chance this could just go on and on like, James Bond. It's not likely to ever end. I think they knew that. I really do. And I think, judging by the way TV was working back then, in the 60s, if something was on TV, they don't know how long it would have lasted. But, after 10 years and it's still on, they would have, realised. So I'm not sure what you guys think. I think it's a sad story, but it's engaging. Very interesting way to tell a story, by the way, to do it as a drama, a reenactment of events, and just splash it about a bit, make it a little bit more interesting than it actually was, I suppose. But other than that, it was a fantastic way of telling the story, and I really enjoyed it. So thank you for the Moffat team and the other Doctor Who people who made the docudrama. Well done. I'm still not sure. You said that you brought the other Doctors in to do something with the documentary or something like that. I didn't actually see them in there, by the way. I saw one or two of them in, but I didn't see all of them in. So they weren't there for the docudrama, will they? Anyway, thank you for watching.